Hi, I'm Joy. Last week, while driving on the freeway here in Southern California, I witnessed a bad accident that could have been avoided if the cars had Tesla Autopilot or full self-driving technology. I have also read online that while every newer Tesla is equipped with basic autopilot or auto lane keeping technology, many Tesla owners do not use it because they do not trust that their Tesla will slow down or brake according to the traffic flow. While I have made several videos in the last 4 years on this channel sharing my experience with Autopilot, Navigate on Autopilot, and FSD Beta, I realized that I have not shared how I learned to trust this technology and how I became comfortable using this technology on nearly all my drives now. So, the accident. What happened was the traffic in my lane slowed down abruptly. Everyone was slamming on their brakes in front of me. I had full self-driving enabled and the autopilot feature of FSD was on. As you can see from the front camera recording of my dash cam, Autopilot detected the slowdown of traffic in front of me and brakes came on so I would not rear end the car in front of me. I looked in my rearview mirror to see if I was going to be rear-ended when I heard tires screeching and boom, 2 cars behind me somehow veered into the HOV lane and hit a car traveling at higher speed in the HOV lane. The driver right behind me kept a safe distance from me and reacted fast, so I was not hit. However, the driver behind that car most likely wasn't paying attention or they were following too closely. So they tried to avoid rear-ending the car behind me by steering into the HOV lane, not seeing the car traveling in that lane from behind. This was the worst car accident I have ever witnessed in my 33 years of driving history. I have been seeing many people commenting online that they don't use autopilot because they prefer to drive themselves or they just don't trust the technology. My view on this is that no matter how careful we are, we can't expect everyone else around us to be as careful as we are while driving. When someone isn't paying attention, then accidents will happen. The best way to prevent accidents from happening is using autopilot technology to keep your car in the lane, travel at the speed according to the speed of traffic in front of you, and keep a safe distance from the car in front of you. If the car that hit the other vehicle in the HOV lane had autopilot, this accident would not have occurred because their car would have detected slowing down of speed in front of them, and their car would slow down accordingly, just like what my Tesla did. You might say, I just don't feel comfortable having the car drive itself because I have read horror stories online about Tesla Autopilot or FSD Beta hitting things on its own. My answer to that is Tesla Autopilot still requires you to pay attention and monitor your surroundings, just like Autopilot used in airplanes. By keeping at least one hand on the wheel, and the in-cabin camera will monitor your attentiveness. If your eyes drift away by looking at your phone or your Apple Watch, it will alert you and ask you to keep your eyes on the road. Ask me how I know. I started using Autopilot the day I took delivery of my Model 3 back in July 2018. Immediately after I got my car, I drove 45 miles to show my brand new Model 3 to my mother. I decided to turn on Autopilot during that drive to see what would happen. I can tell you that I was super nervous because I gave the control over to my car and I've never done it before. However, I was surprised when a car veered into my lane in my blind spot, traveling at 75 miles per hour, and my Tesla moved a few inches away from that lane intrusion while beeping at me, asking me to take full control immediately. I didn't even realize what had happened until I looked. This happened twice on that drive, the very day I got my Model 3. I was impressed that my Tesla saved me from 2 potential accidents on day 1. These 2 incidents made me start to build my trust toward Autopilot. Over the last 4 years, with each Tesla software update, I experienced and witnessed how Autopilot and FSD has improved. My trust in this technology grew exponentially after I became an FSD beta tester, seeing what my car could do on complex urban city streets and how humanly it would react to different situations without my input. So if you are not using Autopilot that comes with your Tesla, this is how you can start building your confidence toward it. First, travel at lower speed or in stop-and-go traffic to get a feel for how your car behaves. You can set your speed limit by moving the right scroll wheel up and down and change the speed intervals by either 1 mile per hour or 5 miles per hour at a time. Secondly, start with longer following distance. The maximum you can set is level 7. By the way, this is not measured by car lengths or seconds. I made this other video explaining this following distance in more detail. You can watch it here in the link. The farther following distance you set, the earlier your car will detect slowing down of traffic in front of you, and the braking will be less harsh. If I'm driving at high speed without trailing any cars, I would set this to 5 or 7 in case I run up to traffic. You can also adjust this whenever you need to during the drive. Many times, if I see a sea of brake lights coming up in front of me and I am traveling at high speed, I would max out the following distance to anticipate the slowdown. The downside of setting a farther following distance is that other cars will get in front of you frequently. I can tell you that it gets irritating in LA because drivers have no patience here and they will cut you off if you give them a chance. When I started using Autopilot, my following distance was set to 3 or 4. After I became an FSD beta tester, most of the time now, my following distance is set at 2, which is the closest you can set. I am able to shorten my following distance because I have built up confidence in Autopilot that it will slow down when the car in front of me is slowing down. If you start using Autopilot by traveling at lower speed and keeping a larger following distance, you will begin to see how well your Tesla responds to cars in front of you and around you. Also remember that you can take over control at any given time if you don't feel comfortable. But if you keep using it, feeling it out, and observing how your Tesla slows down, speeds up, and stops on its own, you will start to build your trust and confidence toward this technology. In time, you will become comfortable with this technology and realize how much safer you are on the road when Autopilot is enabled. Giving up control of your vehicle sounds intimidating, and trust building does not happen overnight. It took me 3 years to grow to the level of confidence I have now toward Autopilot and FSD. And these are the steps I took to develop my confidence. I hope you found my tips helpful. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in the next video, and God bless you.